Before I start, as Joe alluded to, I was in Letterkenny. I was there on Sunday and I just called by again today, but of course in the intervening period in that hospital without seeing her. And I'm glad to say that they're looking after her very well, and I wish her well, and I'm sure you all do too. So, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow citizens, the political, social and economic crises of the last few years have made two things very clear. We live in a republic which has failed its citizens in a number of crucial respects. And we've allowed our health system to evolve in such a chaotic manner that it has also failed our citizens on too many occasions. At the core of both of these developments is a political system which frankly lost its way over the decades and has failed to sufficiently reform and modernise our state. A profound conservatism reinforced by the power of certain vested interests has meant that change in Ireland has been both slow and minimal when it has happened at all. As the Minister for Health, I'm committed to fundamentally reforming our health system and creating a genuine, patient-centred model of healthcare. The status quo is simply not acceptable. As a citizen who is also very proud to be Deputy Leader of Fine Gael, I am convinced that we must build a new republic in Ireland that will put the citizen first. Indeed, I would argue that the creation of a single-tier health system which treats all citizens equally is perhaps the most important step we can take on the road to securing that new republic. Fine Gael, as we all know, has traditionally been very reluctant to use the language of the republic, even though it was the party which established the state in 1922, and it was the party that declared it a republic in 1949. Instead, it has tended to use the language of the just society when articulating its vision for Ireland, a language first used by the party in its general election manifesto of 1965. However, while the Just Society did not base its analysis on the concept of the Republic, its language was distinctively Republican, as this excerpt illustrates. Excuse me. Fundamentally, it stated, we are concerned with making a reality of two concepts, freedom and equality. We seek efforts to work towards a society in which freedom and equality are not concepts from an academic textbook, but are expressed in real and tangible conditions which all our people can enjoy. It's my belief that Fine Gael, and indeed all of us as citizens, must now reclaim the idea of the Republic from those parties and organisations who sought to monopolise it in the past. The Republic cannot belong to any one group or section of society. It must belong to all of us, or it will end up belonging to none of us. I'm very happy to be both a member of Fine Gael and a proud Republican in the truest sense of that word. There are, of course, many different views as to what values should underpin a modern republic, or indeed a modern health system. However, a good starting point might well be the three fundamental principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, or in more modern language, solidarity. While the political right has traditionally emphasised the idea of liberty, and the left has focused on the goal of greater equality, the Just Society correctly argued that both values are absolutely essential in any modern democracy. I believe in a republic where hard work and risk-taking is rewarded, where setting up your own business is seen as both personally fulfilling and a socially useful undertaking. But I also believe in a republic which is both fair and just, a republic with real equality of opportunity, a republic that enshrines the concept of fraternity, the idea of society. In the battle between left and right, between the state and the market, the role of society has all too often been ignored. Because people are not just clients of the state or consumers in a market. They are first that care should be in a high-quality health system that is open to all and funded by those who can best afford it. Citizens who live in a society with a diverse range of needs, aspirations and beliefs. And this could not have been more apparent than during the long debate on the protection of life during pregnancy bill. The principal role of the state in any republic must be to give the citizen the skills and infrastructure they need to live their lives to the fullest possible extent, so that they can make real choices for themselves as part of wider society. It's no use telling 18-year-olds that they are free to make their own choices if they haven't got a basic leaving cert and have no prospect of finding a decent job even when the economy improves. That's not real freedom. That's phony freedom. The state must ensure that all citizens enjoy high-quality education so that all can reach their potential and none are left behind. It's no use telling a young man or woman on welfare that they are free to look for work if the welfare system then penalizes them once they get a job. That's not freedom. That's the state undermining the individual. Recent changes to rent supplements are a welcome move to change this system. But it's also no use talking about freedom of choice to a 40-year-old who has been addicted to cigarettes ever since he or she was a teenager. Addiction is not a choice. It's a possible life sentence. And the state must ensure that the tobacco companies are not allowed to target our young and trap them in a life of addiction. That is why I am committed to the goal of a smoke-free Ireland, while accepting that adults will still be given the choice to smoke if that is their informed decision. But remember this, all of the evidence suggests that if you haven't smoked by the age of 21, you're very unlikely to start. And the tobacco companies know this. That's why they target our young. The state has an absolute duty to create a health system which is fair, efficient and high quality. The current two-tier system, in my view, is completely alien to any notion of a just society or a decent republic. When Fine Gael's Just Society document was published in 1965, it promised a complete reorganisation of the health services, including a move to an insurance-based funding system. So is it not astonishing that this mammoth task is only now being tackled, almost 50 years later? Remember, if you don't have access to good health, then you may not be able to avail of the education that can allow you reach your full potential. Health is a cornerstone of any republic. The government is currently engaged in possibly the biggest reform of a Western healthcare system since the formation of the UK's NHS. The NHS, which was built from the rubble of the Second World War when people were still on ration cards. But the reason for this reform is very simple. Modern medicine is allowing people to live healthier lives for longer, and society is all the richer for it. But we are delivering 21st century medicine and health systems that are more to the 19th century than the new millennium. This combination of scientific progress on the one hand and institutional lethargy on the other hand is driving up healthcare costs across the globe, including here in Ireland. There are only two possible responses, either large-scale rationing of healthcare, which is socially divisive and economically damaging, or radical reform of the way in which healthcare is delivered. The government's future health reform programme is, of course, not the first attempt to change the Irish health system. The creation of the HSE almost a decade ago was also presented as a major reform. In reality, however, the changes made were mostly superficial. The inefficient hospital-focused model of healthcare was largely preserved and all key decision-making centralised into a command hours worked. I think Michael mentioned the amount of money that has gone in. And I did too little to measure what matters most. What matters most is outcomes for patients. How many treated? How quickly? How long did they have to wait? How many had to be readmitted because they weren't treated properly the first time? Future Health is specifically designed to dismantle this failed model of healthcare and hand power back to patients and professionals. In order to help turn this vision into reality, the government has decided, for instance, to reorganise all of Ireland's adult public hospitals into 6 groups, which will over time become self-governing trusts. It will be the biggest change in how our hospitals are managed since the foundation of the state. The objective is to create networks of hospitals which are big enough to offer patients a full range of high-quality services safely, and yet small enough to be flexible and adaptive to the local and regional needs of the people they serve. The response from healthcare professionals to date to these and other proposed changes has been extremely encouraging. People working in the system know better than anyone that change is required. And every bit as important, they want to be involved in that change. But even more important than that, patients need to be involved. Perhaps the best way to review this ongoing process of change is to examine it through the prism of the 3 key principles I have outlined: liberty, equality, fraternity. And let's start with liberty. A health system which truly respected the principle of liberty would be one in which services were constructed around the patient, in which patient choice was not regarded as some optional extra, but as a key organising principle. Liberty, freedom of choice must be a core principle. However, even a cursory review makes it clear how far Ireland is from having such a patient-centred health service. There is currently no system of integrated care that can ensure that an individual gets the right treatment in the right place at the right time. There's no rigorous system of individualised care plans which will enhance the personal autonomy of citizens within the system. There's little or no publicly available data that will allow individuals to judge. We need to know what impact we're doing has and ensure that we focus on those areas that improve outcomes for patients and less focus perhaps on areas where there's more doubt about the outcomes of what we're doing. And like a lot of people, I have been concerned by the results of recent studies in the UK which raised some profound questions about the safety of patients in their hospitals. But we also know from previous safety issues here in Ireland and recent revelations about some of our own hospitals that we have problems which must be addressed. That's why I am committed to the establishment of a new patient safety agency to start on an administrative basis later this year, having examined other systems including Canada and Denmark. It's why my department is currently working with other key stakeholders to develop a number of quality and patient safety indicators with the intention of publicly reporting these indicators. And it's also why I'm announcing today the formation of a special advisory group on patient safety, whose membership will be composed of leading experts from both Ireland and abroad. It will be asked to present a report. And I want to see a health system where power is truly devolved, where professionals on the front line are given more autonomy and patients are given more control over their own treatment. And there is no question in my mind but that the empowered, informed patient is a much safer patient. We want to bring in groups from outside the formal health system as well. Can I just turn to Letterkenny for a moment, seeing as we are here in the Glenties? I visited there, as I said, a few days ago and again today. But what struck me on my initial visit was the huge number of volunteers, assisting the doctors, the nurses and the porters after the recent flooding. This was real fraternity in operation, and I want to acknowledge and salute the work of all the community who were involved, and indeed thank our friends across the border in Altagavin Hospital in County Derry for their help as well. Can I say we also want to create a health system that protects and nurtures the people who work within it. In particular, I want the crucial role of nurses to be recognised and supported. That is why I recently announced, for the first time in the history of the health system, the creation of the post of Chief Nursing Officer at Assistant Secretary level in the Department of Health. It's also why I am determined to change the role of NCHDs, or junior doctors, in our system. The current system, where non-consultant hospital doctors are frankly abused by our system and thus feel devalued, must be changed. We have allowed, again, a perverse and immoral situation to evolve, where we push our brightest and best out, forcing them to emigrate, while we scour the third world, robbing it of its badly needed doctors and nurses. Legitimate concerns have been raised, both inside and outside the health service, as to whether the system has the capability to implement the changes proposed. The reform agenda for the next 3 years is particularly complex and requires the health system to introduce a series of reforms which have taken other countries much longer periods to implement. The recent establishment of a new directorate structure in the HSE, combined with the creation of a programme management office in the Department of Health and a systems reform office in the HSE, are specifically designed to assist in the implementation process. But is this enough? I'm the first to say no, it's not. I will, as a result, be announcing a number of further initiatives over the next few months to help ensure that the reforms announced are indeed implemented. In conclusion, can I say, I came into politics to do one thing and one thing only: to create a health system that truly puts the patient at its centre. We're not there yet, far from it, but there is indeed light at the end of the tunnel. We have made major progress. We can and must give the Irish people the kind of patient-centred health service that they both need and deserve. We can and must give the Irish people the kind of citizen-focused republic without which our nation cannot prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a young republic, but we're also an ancient nation. And the challenges we face now are daunting in our economy, in our education system, and in our health service. But we have faced bigger challenges in the past, and we have prevailed. The true tragedy of the Celtic Tiger is that for many years it was real. There was indeed a genuine economic miracle in the 1990s, and then we lost control. We built houses and apartments we didn't really need in places nobody wanted them. We have an excellent building industry, and we need to refocus it. We need to get people back to work, building hospitals and primary care centres that we need. It's time to wrest back control of our economy, of our republic, of our health system. We have some of the best doctors and nurses in the world, and some of the best managers are Irish people. So why can't we have one of the best health services in the world? I don't just think we can. I know we can. Not today, maybe not by 2016, but certainly in the next term of government and before the 100th anniversary of the foundation of this state. But this can only happen if we have the courage to think radically and act decisively. If we have faith in ourselves and each other. If we decide that we will settle for nothing less than a republic and a health system that are truly based on the principles of liberty, equality and fraternity. For 800 years our forebears dreamt of freedom, and they kept that dream and vision alive until it was realised. The problems we face today, I've already said, are enormous, but they fade in comparison to what those before us overcame. And that's what makes me so proud to be a Democrat, a Republican and an Irishman. That's why I know we'll succeed. It's in our genes. Thank you.